Welcome back to Inzarello Family Farm. Probably wondering why you're staring at a door. Well, this is a door out the back side of my garage. Just to give you an idea how cold it is, you can see the lock is frozen. And I'll show you the window here. The window is frozen. That's how cold it is. I think we're probably about, get out here, there we go. We're probably about maybe 1 or 2 degrees if we're lucky. So we're gonna go check on the sheep for the second time today. Check their water, see how they're doing. Check their creep feed. So make sure that that's still flowing, they have access to the grain. And then we'll also kind of just check their bedding area, make sure nobody's sick, lying down, don't want to get up, all that good stuff. So I broke water earlier, so we'll go check that out. So looks like the water over there is doing pretty good here. Hopefully Greta doesn't run through that gate because I'm not locking it, but yeah, we're pretty good there. It's still open. This tub trough is frozen solid, so I'll probably take both those trough heaters and throw them in there and get that one flowing. Well, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's Miss Greta. She's probably what in the heck is going on. So we'll go check the little barn here, see how they're doing. We're getting close to having to change, or not change, but add to their bedding like I talked about in one of my last videos. We've had really cold weathers. Hi, Greta. Can you say hi to everybody? You're a star. You're a star. Everybody loves you. Yeah, she's probably thinking, I'm going to try to eat that camera. Come on, let's go check out your bedding. Show the world your bedding. So, anyways, we've had bitter cold. If you've been watching the news, you're probably aware of the weather that's hit the country here, at least in the United States. So we've had negatives, and doesn't look bad. Looks dry, but we're definitely going to add to it, make them a little bit more comfortable. We've had negatives for the last few days, so that's about to change from what I'm understanding. We're supposed to be above the freezing mark for at least a few days. It's really weird hearing this from me, but when it's in the 20s, it's actually not bad. It's bearable. But so we'll be in 20s at night about, and then the, high mid 30s during the day here coming this week. So here's their, get you guys a little bit of a close up here. Here is their creep feeder. As you can see right here, there's a small little opening, and as the sheep use their tongue to lick and to get the grain to stick to their tongue eventually dries out and they can't pick up any more grain, so they walk away. Gives another sheep an opportunity to come in here and eat, and that is important because it keeps them from eating too much and bloating leads to death. Are you eating? You guys can't see right now, but I got Miss Greta. Hi, Miss Greta. Here, you get a close-up. There you go, Miss Greta. You can watch Miss Greta eat. Why don't you show everybody how you eat out of that? Oh, don't pretend like you don't like it. You eat here all day. I see you. So, you probably thought I was putting something new in. But anyways, this piece here slides up and down, which increases the gap here at the bottom, which then increases the amount of feed that flows through. So we have it set right now, I don't know, maybe 3/8 of an inch ish. So it seems to be flowing really well. Sometimes we have problems with it though, because right here, you'll get some of this grain will get wet through their saliva, and then it freezes and you get a little mound right here. So I had to come out earlier today and scrape that off and break that up a little bit here. I can actually show you right here. So there's a great example of it. So all this, and a lot of this, what you're seeing is mineral, or it's a it's a meal, basically, like a soybean meal. That's what I'm trying to say. Holy cow. So that stuff is pretty powdery, almost like the consistency of maybe like, flour. So when it gets wet, again, it freezes, and then it prevents this stuff from falling, or makes it even more difficult for the sheep to have access to this. So I went and checked to see if this thing is full. That opens up almost like a clamshell, and then we checked, and we have plenty of feed still in there for them. When the feed truck comes, he dumps it in with a boom, and I'll usually get right around, I don't know, 1,500 pounds, give or take, at a time. So, but yeah, so they also have access to the hay over here. Go check on that. See how they're doing. This is stuff from last year. I don't know, I wasn't too happy with it, to be honest with you. I don't like really stemmy stuff, and as you can see on the ground here, they're pulling the hay that is more on the stemmy side out and going for the good stuff. So to give you an example, I don't know if I can do this, but here is, I don't know if that comes up really good on camera, but anyways, this stuff is really fine. Some other stuff, it's like a big stick. So they don't like it, but they're eating it, doing what they do. So I'm thinking as soon as we get rid of this cold snap, I'm gonna come out here and probably replace this bale and just roll it out. They can have access to it still, and then put a better quality or a finer stemmed hay in this feeder right here you guys are seeing. So that'll be the plan here. But yeah, everybody's doing good. Looks like everybody's holding weight. I had to trim some hooves, so we shall see what happens. And then here's Miss Greta. She's got to eat. So you can see the sheep there, almost like right on cue. They're eating, licking that grain out. There's our ram, Rocco the ram. He's going to be the daddy to the babies in the spring. So we should start having lambs right around end of March, early April. I put him in on Thanksgiving Day. It's about 5 months of gestation for lambs. And then you have, they may not be cycling at that moment, so he may have to get them pregnant a little bit later on, which will cause lambs to be born a little bit later. But we get it done probably within a month's period or 3 weeks. So yeah, it looks like, so here's some of the mineral I add here. They've been messing with it, which is good, but I'll probably come back on my evening checks and I'll probably add some more of the, mineral. I don't know if I said grain, but the mineral, add more mineral. So it is bitter cold out here. My lips are not working. Sometimes my brain doesn't feel like it's working, but you can see the amount of snow we've gotten. And nice thing is when it warms up, it'll compact. Some of this will melt, and it'll be a little bit easier for the sheep during those times. But they look like they're holding weight. They're not getting skinny. They're basically have good conformation right now. Probably a few that probably could look a little bit better, but with the bitter cold and the quick transition from fall to winter, they've done pretty well. So I'm kind of happy. And that's again why we're giving grain out of that orange pumpkin looking thing, to help keep their body weight up and make sure that they are keeping warm. Said it before, I'll say it again. They warm themselves. One of the ways they warm themselves is from the inside out. So as they're eating, they're breaking down the feed, the grain, the sugars, all that stuff. That action creates warmth. So they kind of warm from the inside out. Not only that, but it meets their nutritional needs, which also helps. So, yeah. So that is it, folks, from the bitter cold north. So, like, subscribe, and share. And if you're hitting the like button and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We would appreciate that. That's one way you can help out our farm and grow our farm. So at some point, like I've said before, I'd like to get monetized. So all that money will go back into the farm and we can get more sheep. So if you like lambs, subscribe. You'll see them. Take care. Keep warm.